Welcome back to the Bean Apple. We have had a nice long week off for the holiday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time. Did some barbecuing, got some sun, had a little bit of beer, and overall had a nice long relaxing weekend. But we're back to gather around the water cooler, talk some sports. I missed you guys. Uh, Look forward to seeing what you guys have been up to. I've got an awesome story I've been holding from last night to tell you guys. But first, before we do that, let me know how you guys are doing. How's the weekend?
Good. I mean, so everyone, says, "Hey, happy long, enjoyed a long weekend." But I mean, for the two of you, thank you for your service. Right? You guys are both in the military, and this is what it's all about. And people have sacrificed to give us our freedom. So, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
My
Well,
weekend was good. I hung out in Vermont, man, last weekend. It was nice. Went up Thursday night. Stayed till Sunday morning. Beautiful weather up there. Didn't catch any rain. Low 50s, mid 50s. It felt like spring, actually, to be quite honest. But green, it's just so amazing out there. I took pictures and I wanted to send them to you guys, but it does zero justice. And just beautiful up there, up in the Northern Kingdom, and got some hell of a good beer. It's amazing the beer they have on tap up there. It's just, I mean, Heady Topper Joe is sold in gas stations.
I know.
That's how Vermont is. So,
Yeah.
um,
Once we start getting up to like my mother-in-law's house, like within like 20 minutes of there, you just stop at a gas station and
Heady Topper,
I,
Focal Banger, anything from Alchemist,
yep.
brewery. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I clean out the freezer.
Yep.
So
It's good times.
nice. So so let me fill you guys in on this last night. So it's the probably the scariest night of my life to this point. So it took me a while to fall asleep last night. It was probably after 11 o'clock when I fell asleep. And I finally fell asleep pretty good. And I was like, all right, thank God, finally. 2 o'clock in the morning, smoke alarm goes off. And
Oh boy.
yeah, but I mean, and this is like you talk about the military stuff. Like this is where I think training kicked in because by the third beep, I was out of the room and headed down the hallway. I was out of the bed, down the hall, running down the stairs, and my adrenaline, I've never had adrenaline like that in my life. I mean, just shaking when I got to the bottom of the stairs, and like I was so tired, like everything was a blur around me. So when I came out of the hallway, it was dark, of course. I have some hallway lights, but so everything was blurry, so it looked smoky. You know what I mean? Because I'm just
Yeah.
waking up, my eyes are all cloudy, and 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep at that point. So I'm like, oh shit, where's the fire? Like I can't, and I get to the bottom of the stairs and nothing's going on. The dogs are sleeping on the floor. I'm like, what is going on? And then it stops beeping, and I was like, but every alarm in the house is going off. It wasn't like the little chirp. It was
Yeah.
full on deafening. And I was like, what the hell was that? So I was like, all right. I look around the house. I can't find any gas, nothing. Everything's turned off. I'm like, all right, no, that was weird. Go back to bed. 3 o'clock, boom, happens again. And of course, I can't go back to sleep because I'm literally just still, my heart's still racing. I'm shaking. I'm like, 3 o'clock, I jump back up again. I'm like, there's got to be a gas leak or something's going on. And I search the whole house. I'm on the internet, like trying to figure out what this could possibly be. Now I know what every beep and color and everything for a smoke alarm actually means. There's so much to it. I had no idea. So again, go to bed. I was debating calling the police or the fire department because I was like, I don't know. But again, 4 o'clock goes off again. 5 o'clock, I'm in the shower. I hear it go off again and it stops. And then a little after 5 o'clock, I'm shaving and it goes off again. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And it doesn't stop this time. Just keeps going. And I found the one that was actually causing the problem because it turns red instead of green when it detects smoke, the light. So I take it down. I was like, the battery's got to be dead. So I rip it out of the wall to get the ceiling to get it to stop, take the battery out, put a new battery in. I'm holding it and it just starts going ballistic again. And I was like, gah. So it just ended up being a faulty one, but it tells you on the back, like it's supposed to beep like 5 times or chirp 5 times a minute when it comes to the end of its life. No, nothing. Never gave me a warning on anything. Just so every hour between 2 and 5 o'clock, every alarm in the house is going off. So,
Oh,
needless
boy.
to say, from 2:30 on, I just laid in bed, like anticipating the next one to happen. So
The
I'm on,
house burning down. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just
So they
just waiting for it.
all went bad.
No, just that one, but it
It
was
controls all of them.
yeah, they're all wired in together. So I have 9 of them throughout the house. So I couldn't figure out which one was causing the problem, and then come to find out that I tracked it down to I had 2 of them that were showing red. I reset both of them, then just one of them went red the next time. So I took that one off. But of course, this is 4 hours that go by in the middle of the night that this has to be happening. So I'm like,
Right.
Well, the good thing is now you know your dogs are going to be a big help in an emergency.
yes, yes.
They just slept right through it.
Right. But for everybody who's watching this and you guys, if you have the fire and the CO2 in one, if it beeps beeps 4 times, it's CO2. If it beeps 3 times, it's smoke. So good thing to know if you're laying in bed and it's just a beep beep beep, you got a fire. 4,
Right.
it's carbon monoxide. So get out of the house. So I didn't know that until I started researching. Like, do I have a carbon monoxide leak or
Right.
not? So
Well, some of them have the voice activation too. Well, just say fire, or carbon. It'll tell
Yeah.
you instead of you got to hear. Wait, how many was that? Can you replay it?
right.
I wasn't counting in the beginning.
Yeah, well, after the second round of beeps, it's so loud you can't hear anything
Right,
anyway. But
That's scary.
just
See, my
terrible.
dogs would have went batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like my dogs hear the smoke alarm beep, and I mean I got 5 dogs. My little wiener dogs, I got 4 of them. They all act like the house is on fire. My German Shepherd goes nuts. We're done. Everybody's up in the house and probably the neighbors as well. And I don't even have neighbors.
Wow.
Man, no, but it's
But-
funny when I was testing the one, and I hit the reset button. You hold the reset and it just does the one chirp,
Yeah.
just to reset. When that happened, John, I think Jim, you've seen my dog. He's like 120-pound wildebeest. When the chirp goes off, he got up and ran in the room and hid. But the whole time the alarm's going off, he's laying in the middle of the living room floor,
Wow.
just completely.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna get this
One-
dog for protection.
One chirp,
Yeah,
one chirp,
yeah,
and
no
he's
kidding.
gone.
Gone, done. He's
Oh,
like,
it's
Dad,
so-
I don't think so, man.
He's
Oh,
like,
it's
"Where's
so
my
funny.
thunder and lightning sweater? I need that sweater to keep me calm."
His thunder buddy.
Oh
Oh,
my god,
so
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm running on fumes today. So,
But hey, that's a good PSA for check the batteries in your smoking
yeah.
carbon monoxide detectors, right? Because
Yeah.
you never think about it till it's too late, right?
yeah. Well, it turns out that smoke detector just took a shit. That's what it came down to. So,
But wasn't there a fire like across the street from your house too? I
There
thought that's
was.
where the story was going because I saw
No.
some pictures like your
Yes.
neighborhood was burning down, and
yeah,
I thought that was the smoke.
The next block, just a block straight across from me, the next block over, just building went up, and there's a
Oh, wow.
there's a whole like junkyard thing that's right down there too. That it spread into there, and like a bunch of the vehicles caught on fire, and
Wow.
but luckily they got it under control, and the wind was blowing south instead of west. If it would have been blowing west, I would have been in trouble. But luckily,
scary.
so yeah, just
Shit.
crazy, crazy for sure.
Crazy
So
shit.
anyway, so let's talk about something that doesn't make my heart age 13 years.
The Jets?
Yeah,
No, that's worse. Yeah.
right. So OTAs are over, and from what I heard, is Zach Wilson looked pretty good through all of it, picking up a lot of stuff, and
Oh.
that was a scary thing. Yeah, Alex, I lived extremely close. Like I said, 1 block away from that. But I think from what I heard, like people saw that smoke from like 10, 12 miles away. It was so big. So,
Wow.
but yeah, he looked good. From what I heard, the OTAs went really well. The offense was clicking. I saw a stat, and I don't know if it was just making fun of things, but he had a 72% completion rate in in OTAs. So, I mean, I'll take it. There's no defenders, but everything I saw, really good throws. He said he's picking up the offense. It's getting easier every day. So that's extremely promising. So,
So is that a good
news.
percentage when there's no defenders? Because usually it seems like every pass you see on those when I have them on TV, everything's a complete because it's soft toss.
Right. Yeah.
It's so At 72, I wonder how many passes. Was it 100 passes and he completed 72 of them? Or was it like he threw 3 or 4 balls?
Yeah, I don't know all the stats.
3
I don't
out of
even
4.
know- I don't even know if it was true or they were just mocking like all the media pundits that like to throw out those ridiculous stats. But I was like, all right, I'll take 72% during the season though. That I'd be okay with that. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, quiet and
Yeah.
quiet in sports. And we were talking about it at work today. I was talking to Alex like. The last couple weeks, we had the Aaron Rodgers stuff, the Julio Jones stuff. You're thinking like June 1st, boom, everything's going to explode.
Sean Watson. I mean, nothing,
It
no
just
moves. No moves.
It keeps getting quieter and quieter.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of eerie because baseball is really the top sport right now. Oh, or playoff hockey, which Jim, we got the Bruins playing the Islanders again tonight.
That's right.
So, but unfortunately, your Knicks and my Celtics both got bounced 4-1 in the NBA playoffs, which I knew was going to happen. Finally, so I know we don't talk basketball a lot. Brad Stevens has been on board now for like 8-9 years. They signed him to an extension last year. I was pissed, and Ainge stepped down as basically operations officer. Stevens went upstairs. He's going to take Ainge's job, and now they're going to search for a new head coach. And I just hope it's somebody that isn't a college coach or a very seasoned college coach, because Stevens was great at Butler. He was great at like taking a bunch of non-veteran top 3 type players and making them play really well.
yeah,
He's not good when it comes to superstars. I mean, Kyrie's Kyrie. I mean, granted, he had a tough time in Boston. He had a lot of family stuff. Kemba Walker comes here. Gordon Hayward didn't work out. So we assembled that team, and Tatum scoring 40, 50 a game now in the playoffs. So I just don't think he has that superstar type coach-player relationship. I truly don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you too, Alex. Have a good weekend, man. And I think that's what has kept a lot of, hopefully, superstars from coming, because now hopefully we can sign the right coach and go from there. But you know what, Jim? At least our teams were there. Knicks, huge this year, just making the playoffs. And I'm curious to see how the Bruins and Islanders go, because that's a tough series so far. So fun to watch. I love playoff hockey. I don't watch a whole lot during the regular season, but for some reason, playoff hockey, boys. I mean, even if you're not a hockey fan, it's like watching March Madness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just so much
exactly.
fun to watch. It really is.
Yeah. And it's cool that, Nets and Boston played, and now the Bruins and Islanders are playing, and now tomorrow the Yankees and Red Sox play. Hey, finally, we're getting the Boston-New York thing happening. That's
Yes. I mean, we're only, June 4th.
It's been a long time.
We have our first Sox-Yankees game. So looking at the standings right now, Jim, you're lucky Toronto. You're lucky Toronto and Baltimore play in our division right now.
Oh my God!
So
let's see what you say on Monday. I want to see on Monday what the story is.
So what's crazy? Have you guys really looked at the standings lately? Baltimore, poor Baltimore. I mean, I can't even laugh at them anymore. They're 16 freaking games out, and it's June 3rd. Yeah. We're not even 2 full months into the season yet, and they're already done. I mean, what are they going to be, 50 games out of first, do you think? I mean, the way the East is playing?
Could be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's just...
I'll tell you, they have a couple of decent players. I mean, I went to see the game there. Their third baseman, I can't think of the guy's name, was picking balls left and right. And their center fielder, another good player, good hitter, I think he bats leadoff. Again, I can't give you his name. I couldn't guess it in a multiple choice.
Trey Mancini's one of the leaders in RBIs this year too.
Yes,
in baseball.
Yes.
And then you got Santander. Is that who you're thinking?
Oh
of?
yes.
Santander.
No, not who's the center fielder there. Center fielder, I think he bats leadoff.
Yeah,
he's been
Brady Anderson.
Yes, Brady Anderson. No,
that's the guy. Yeah.
That's the guy, man. Still juiced up.
I know him.
Played 1 year. Let's see. Let me see if I got it.
Santa.
16 games
Cedric
out.
Mullins. Cedric Mullins. That's who you're thinking of.
Okay. Good bat, good outfielder. Third baseman's good. So they got some good players. And like I said, Mancini, after having the cancer last year, coming
Yeah.
back
What a story.
and
Good
leading
for
major leagues in not major leagues, at least American League in RBIs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They also,
I mean,
they
it's-
also have Ryan Mountcastle, who's a rookie.
Yeah.
I think he's a rookie still this year, but very, very highly touted young player coming up. Somebody to keep an eye on in that organization.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, they've been drafted in the top 3 every year for what, like the last 6 years.
37 years, yes.
So they should have a pretty stacked farm team coming up.
You
here.
would think.
It
But when
reminds
is it going
me
to hit
of-
the field?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of like the Cleveland Browns. You know, it's Baltimore being Baltimore. There's 16 games out, but I mean, Arizona's 15. Not to, I mean, so there are other teams, you know, that are close to being that bad. But Baltimore is just, they're not going to get any better. They're probably only going to get worse as the year goes by. And God, I mean, how can you be an Oriole fan?
I know. It's.
I mean-
I'll tell you. When I was at the game, I mean, this guys they're still wearing the Jim Palmer and Rick Dempsey and
Of course,
all of the
that's-
guys from 19. Right? Because who have you had really?
Yeah,
since
from
then?
79. Yeah, I
Right.
get it.
Scott
80.
McGregor and
Steve
all of those guys.
Stone, you know, all those
Brooks
guys.
Robinson.
Yeah, I
they,
mean-
all of those players. But I mean, their fans are loyal. I mean, they come.
It's amazing.
And it doesn't matter how far out they are. They come and cheer them on, and you know, it's a beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, but again, they just beat the Twins. Like the Twins are
Terrible.
22 and 33. What happened to the Twins?
I don't know.
The Twins we thought were winning the division, and what are they doing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I thought
Struggling.
Chicago was, but Jim, once again,
Well-
I'm right.
Yeah.
We knew they'd be competitive. It was between White Sox and Twins.
Honestly, yes,
Right,
yes, absolutely. And
There you go, Carlos. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Like you start looking at standings, and I mean, what are we? 58 games into the season, approximately. So, you know, there's a lot of baseball been played. You know, we're already, you know, a third into it. Well into a third, and teams are going to start separating. But what I think is kind of neat is how tight some of these divisions are. I mean, who would have thought the Mets? Who picked the Mets? No one.
No.
No.
You know, the Cubbies are there. They really, I mean, the Cubbies are playing overachieving baseball right
Well,
now.
they're
you know?
9-1 in their last 10 games.
That's what I mean. They're just going crazy. And Joe, there's your favorite team, Oakland. Once again, there they are. They got somehow the same players from 4 years ago that couldn't make the Orioles, but yet
Yeah.
they play good on Oakland.
I don't understand it either.
You know, it's crazy. So
Like, it's kind of the same with Tampa. Like how is
Yeah.
Tampa 36 and 22? Like I don't know who plays on
Right.
the team, and the best player in the minor leagues has been Wander Franco for the last 2 years. He's been the number 1 player in the minor leagues, and he's not getting called up, and they're in first place. If
Yeah, they
call
don't need him.
up, call him up. Just put it away. Like
Yeah.
he's so good. And
well,
they're
then
not-
you get that player tag for an extra year or something like that.
That's
right?
already
If you call
passed.
them up. I thought it was. Oh, is it? I thought it was
Yeah.
June.
No, it was like May 15th, I think.
I guess
Well,
we are in June.
Well, I
don't
think
know.
there is the Super 2 rule too. I think.
Yeah, I thought there was something else where it was June or July. They can call them up after July, like the All Star break, and then they get them for another extra year or something. I can't remember, but
Yeah, I don't know.
keeps
but-
them from being a free agent or some shit like that. But,
Right. Yeah, I don't know, but that the whole thing is weird. I mean, a lot of teams. I mean, the Mariners are holding on to it as well.
Carlos, I just noticed that
Yeah,
every show, Carlos, every show. We talk about Namath somehow in the Jets. Every show.
he's a
It was his-
legend.
It was
He's
his
a legend.
birthday. I had to share it on Facebook the other day.
See, even you're paying attention.
I have to now because it's embedded into my head that that's the last time they won. And so I wonder if when his wife took him out, what is he, like 80 or something like that? I mean, he's up there, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
I wonder if he was asking like the waitresses for kisses or hugs or maybe a selfie. And
man, come on, leave Joe Willie alone.
the way that was one of the greatest interviews ever.
It was the greatest guarantee and the greatest interview of all time.
Greatest interview of all time. You're pretty. You're really pretty. And she's
Oh,
just like,
Susie, you're so pretty.
Yeah.
and the look on her face was,
Keep
so
it together.
terrible.
Keep it together. Yeah.
Please don't throw up. Please don't throw up.
Yeah.
But okay, enough of Joe. Enough
Yeah.
of Joe.
Enough
Joe
about
Man.
that.
No.
What else? So Julio Jones. So you mentioned it, Joe, when we started.
Yeah.
You know, we thought Julio was going to get traded. I still don't think Aaron Rodgers is going anywhere. You cannot trade him. Absolutely cannot. I'm going to stick to that. But Julio. So supposedly there was a team with a with a first round pick, offering a first round pick. Then it was Tennessee was going to get it done with a second. Then I heard New England, a first round, J.C. Jackson, and first round in Sony Michel, which I don't care for. I know we're not keeping him for his fifth year. I get it. But we were fifth in rushing last year. A lot of that was because of Cam. I get it. Cam ran a lot. But Sony still averaged 5.3 yards a carry. So in a kind of injury-plagued year, and Belichick's not going to pay Sony. He's not. It's not going to happen.
He's not worth it.
But to me, keep him. We lost Burkhead, which went to the Texans, who now have 14 running backs. I think they're going to run the wishbone. I think Jamel Holloway from Oklahoma back in 1982 is going to be their quarterback, and they're going to run the wishbone in Houston this year because that's what they're built. I mean, who else are you going to sign?
Yeah.
I mean, who haven't they signed? It's unreal. But Julio, I don't know. I mean, again, I'd like to see him on New England because he's a yard hog. He's not a touchdown guy. He's a yard hog. And I so wish. So listening to the show last Thursday, I'm going through like Franconia Notch. And Joe, I don't know if you ever went through there.
No.
You lose every single bit of reception that you would ever think of getting. So
Right.
it just kind of searches. It keeps going. And then once you come out, it kind of kicks back on. Mine didn't for whatever reason. So as I'm listening, I'm like, God, I wish I could chime in. But I ended up talking to my brother Shane, and he told me he was giving you guys some shit. So that's good. I still would love to see Julio in New England. He's a yard hog, like I said. I get it. He doesn't score touchdowns, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, give me 1,394 yards like you did a couple years ago, and I'll be fine with that. Johnny Mack, I think pretty good as long as Seattle doesn't. I know everyone's talking about Tennessee, but for whatever reason, I have a feeling Seattle's going to be the front runner because why wouldn't he want to play with Lockett and the Beast up there and Russell Wilson? I mean, gosh, I mean,
Yeah, but
what
I
a
can't
combo
imagine
that is.
would they want to trade him within the NFC?
No, and I was also thinking, who's Seattle giving up? They had 3 picks last year in the draft. I mean, how much
Right.
more can they give up?
Right. They already gave the Jets their first this year.
Yeah.
So they don't get that one. Yeah,
So-
what are you going to give up?
So now you look back to Tennessee. Think of how scary the Tennessee Titans would be with Julio, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry. And as much as I'm going to say it, you guys know how I feel about Ryan Tannehill. and I'm even going to lower my voice because it saddens me to say this.
Oh, this is good.
Um,
This is good.
for those that don't know, I hate Ryan Tannehill. I hate him. If he came on the show, I'd tell him. If he wanted to fight, I'd probably fight him. I mean, just cause. But I just don't like him.
But
Okay,
this is a personal level now.
I just don't like him. I don't like Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, God.
But he does well with the number one running back in the NFL. So would he thrive in that offense? I think so. I mean, think about it. The linebackers can't play back ever with Henry in the backfield. So now you got Julio, you got A.J. Brown out. I don't know who they have at tight end now that we signed Hunter Henry and him. So
Johnny
it's like,
Smith. I mean,
yes. So we signed him. We signed Hunter Henry. I don't know. I can't. You know what? It really doesn't matter, to be quite honest. But that would be a scary offense if you think about it. Can they rival Kansas City? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they get the defense to stop them. But I'll tell you what. You put Julio in Tennessee in that offense, man. You know what? You don't need. Oh, Johnny, I used to get the shit kicked out of me in the ovens because I wouldn't shut up. Thanks, buddy, for those memories. So the ovens is up in our Lynn Woods down there, and we would have keg parties up there, and just the fun teenage stuff at keg parties that happens. Well, it happened there too. So thanks, Johnny Muck. I always got your back too, buddy. But yeah, and I mean, I want to see him on the Pats. We get the money. Salary cap's going up to what, $208 million next year. So it's not like you have to worry about next year's money.
That's minimum too. That's a floor,
Minimum.
right?
Yeah, that's minimum. So it's going up $22 million or whatever it is, or unless my math is terrible, somewhere around there. So I mean, it's going up a lot. So teams don't have to worry about next year. So backload that contract. Say, hey, this is what we'll do this year. We'll pay an absurd amount of money next year, and we'll take care of you. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Sorry, didn't mean to hog that, but
I think. Imagine what Atlanta's offense would be if he just shuts up and plays.
Yeah.
I mean, Calvin Ridley, Pitts. I don't know who their running back is anymore, but
Mike Davis and Cordell
Davis.
Patterson, I
Yes.
think. Yep.
yeah. And I'm sorry if Mike Davis could step in for Christian McCaffrey and put up awesome numbers.
Mike Davis is underrated, man. That guy can
yeah.
catch footballs.
Right.
That guy can catch footballs.
He might not be top 10, but
Right.
he's going to get you yardage when you need it.
Damn right he will.
So, yeah, throw him in there. I mean, yes, the defense is suspect. It's going to be suspect, but
Yeah.
the offense is better there than it would be with him in Tennessee. It's better than he would be in a better. He's in a better position where he is offensively than he would in Tennessee with Tannehill throwing to him, and better than he would be in New England by far with Cam throwing to him. Seattle, that's an upgrade, but I don't
Watch
know.
that shit.
Right.
Watch that shit, Joe.
I mean, it's
Come
hard
on,
though. You can't
don't
come
believe
out.
in Cam. Come on.
He
And
doesn't.
Cam we trust, baby.
Yeah.
And Cam and Bill we
I-
trust.
I think we have some footage of you saying the opposite of that. But
Okay, I'm a little wary of Cam. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I mean, I should be, right? I should
of course
be.
you
wary.
should be.
Yeah, you watched
Of course.
last year.
But we're
Yes.
still winning 10 games. I'm
Was
still
that a
sticking to
football?
that.
Was he throwing a football or a shot put last year?
Both.
I mean, come on.
We found out, Jim,
it was a beer pong, ping pong.
it was actually
That's-
shot puts underneath, and that's what happened to him. So we're going to correct that this year.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. Year one
That's
blues,
right.
man. That's all it is. Year one blues. So, Joe, here's my thing with Atlanta, though. Yes, Pitts excelled in college. He did. I'm not saying he didn't. He was amazing. Who says he's going to do that in the pros? So it's kind of the unknown. You know what Derrick Henry's going to give you. Okay, Atlanta's offense can score yet. Who's their running back? Mike Davis? Okay, viable. But is he a ball carrier? Can he handle that many? Now, Cordell Patterson, I like him a lot because that guy, if he carries the ball 10 times, he's getting you 55 yards easy.
but he's
because-
a wide receiver. He's not a running back.
He is, but he lines up in the backfield. He did with New England. He did with Chicago. I mean, the guy's a beast out of the
Yeah,
back.
it's a full head of steam out of the back. Sure.
Oh my God! I mean, he takes 2 steps and he's 8 yards. You know what I mean? He really is. So, and I think that's how they said they're going to use him. They're going to use him the same way they did in Chicago and New England. So, you just don't know what you have with Pitts. And I'm sorry, with the running game, you can play back. There's kind of no one to scare you. Which again, I do like Davis. I like him catching the ball the more than I like him running the ball.
Yeah.
So go on.
if you're a wide receiver, do you want to go to an offense that already has AJ Brown in it,
Yep.
that runs the ball with a 2,000-yard rusher every year, and you're going to go with Ryan Tannehill and feel good about that? I don't know who else. Well,
They're a good team, though. I mean, the team as a whole, though. I mean, the team as a whole, Tennessee has a good team.
They do, but you're gonna if you're about getting yardage and playing, you're gonna get a lot more action in Atlanta. Especially like you said, Pitts is young. How much are they gonna be able to feature him?
Who has a better chance of going? Who has a better chance of winning their division? Patriots, Tennessee, Seattle, or Atlanta? Tennessee by a mile. The only team they have to worry about is Indy, and there's a big question mark with Wentz. Huge question mark with Wentz. So who they worry about? Jacksonville, Houston? That shit ain't happening.
Yeah.
So chances are they're going to win their division. Chances are they're going to probably potentially get a first-round bye. I mean, if they win 5 games in their division, you never know. Okay, I get it. You have to have the best record in the league. But at least at least have home field. At least have home field in the first playoff game.
Well, if they win a division, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
you're looking at that at worst case scenario. So now you're almost guaranteed a playoff game. Atlanta's not making the playoffs this year. I don't care if you put fucking Bo Jackson on that team. They're not making the playoffs. I'm talking Bo Jackson from 1984. Just not happening because their defense is ferocious. They're terrible. But my thing is,
yeah,
if you,
maybe.
I mean, and if Tennessee even pays them half that money and a playoff guarantee with Derrick Henry, man, why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
If he's calling the shots, I don't know if he is, but
All right, I'll cede. That was a valid argument, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense for the first time. Makes sense.
and I even defended Tannehill.
I know.
That's the worst part about this. It's the worst part about the whole thing. I defended Tannehill.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you think the holdup is? I mean, so once you say I'm out of there publicly, you know, the upper management is thinking, okay, you want to come out and say that? We don't want you either. How do your teammates feel about you now? Do they really want you to come back? Are they calling them saying, come on, man, we got Pitts now. Let's come on, get it together. Apologize public. Or are they looking to move him? And if they are, why hasn't it happened yet?
I
What's
think
the holdup?
money. I think money. I think
mean-
teams want Atlanta to eat some of that contract is what I think.
You think it's just down to negotiating now?
And that's when it probably comes down to a number 2 versus a number 1.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
if we're going to eat contract, we want a first round pick.
Yeah, they've been saying they want a number 1, and apparently somebody's offered a number 1. They haven't
Right.
said,
So
or
why
they're
are
just
you-
saying that. They're just saying that to try to get somebody else to jump up
course.
and be like, all right,
Yeah.
we'll give you a first 2. All right, well, nobody else offered it. We'll actually take
Right.
yours. I don't know, but that's
And who knows? Maybe, I mean, the players know it's not them. You know, they know Matt Ryan knows it's not him. Ridley knows it's not him. Pitts doesn't know him yet. So, to me, it comes down to money, and he wants to probably play for a win. I mean, he's been in the league 10 years. It's hard to believe that, to be quite honest. I can't believe that. But, I mean, to me, his best chance of winning would be Tennessee. But
Yeah,
what's
I agree.
Tennessee going to give up? If he's going on Twitter and saying, I'm out of here, goes on interviews saying, I'm gone, man, I mean, are you really giving up a 1?
well, I mean, Jamal Adams did it, and they got 2 1s. So
Yeah, but that's the Jets.
You
That's-
get Joe Douglas. You get Joe Douglas to negotiate. Did you just give the Jets a compliment too?
No, I was giving them shit. I said, that's the Jets.
Why? Because they got 2 first rounders?
Yeah, okay, so they negotiated.
Oh man.
So hold
I don't
on
know.
a second. Is there a full moon out? I know
Yes.
it's still sunny.
Something's
I-
weird right now.
I defended the Jets.
What are you
and-
drinking? What's in that can?
That's
know,
probably
I-
the problem.
Is there
actually.
Vermont maple syrup? What are you drinking?
No.
So it's not. It's a seltzer. It's a little warm out. I decided to go light, 5%,
Okay.
but and
That's
I
the
hydrated
problem.
at the same time. Yeah, that is. Wow, that looks good, Jim. Whatever that is.
Double IPA. Yep.
Yeah, it looks it. That's something to chew on right there.
Yeah. 8%.
Carlos, you. Ooh,
8%.
that's a monster right there.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I just don't think Seattle because of the draft picks. I mean,
It's too expensive.
they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's too much to give up for Seattle, especially a team that doesn't have a first.
Well, and that doesn't need a wide receiver. You know, if they were a wide receiver away, I could see if this was like a pass rusher. Okay, maybe so, or an offensive lineman. But you're talking Julio Jones, and I know Russell Wilson would probably love to have him, but
Yeah, but you got DK and Lockett.
yeah, man. I mean, whew.
Yeah. You
And
don't
they
need it.
haven't said anything else about Wilson either. So Wilson was, I'm out, we're moving, blah, blah. Nothing. He's been the quietest out of everyone.
Yeah.
There's been no more talk of him leaving Seattle looking for a quarterback. Nothing. Not
That's
here.
because-
Maybe up in the Northwest they talk about. Out
No.
here, I don't hear a thing about it.
No, nothing.
And I don't think you will because Carroll's like, look, man, we're not taking a $42 million cap hit for you. Not happening.
Right.
You know what? Maybe we'll try and move you. If you're still pissed off next year, let's talk. Because next year they would get some cap relief if they got rid of him. But there ain't no way, man. They started talking about him going to Chicago. They can't do that. I mean, the cap hit is $40+ million.
Yeah, you
way.
got to just.
You have to play him if you're gonna
Yeah.
take the cap hit, at least have him behind center.
Yeah, you got to have that realistic conversation. Like Russell, unless you're giving us $30 million
Yeah,
as compensation for your trade, forget about it. Like,
yeah.
you can't absorb that kind of cap hit. So
No.
shut up, play another year, play great, and then we'll talk about moving you somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, until
And you're
then.
making $40 million. Shut up, anyways.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
You could sack me. You could sack me 27 times a year or
Right.
35 times a year.
Sack me 70 times a year. I won't be able to walk at the end of the year, but I got money to buy new legs.
Yeah.
Magic legs.
Dude, so off of that one, but to a stat I just came across on one of our rival sites about the New York Giants. Did you see this? They are 9-23 in their last 4 seasons at home. 9-23 at home.
It's been a bad run. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Bad?
Bad.
Bad.
That's
Bad.
beyond bad, Jim. That's
9.
like what is it? Water and pond scum, right? Pond scum's underneath. It's the algae that builds on the pond scum.
Yeah.
That was from a movie. I'm not
Yeah,
going
I
to tell
know.
you because it's like my best friend's wedding. It's embarrassing that I know that. But
No, actually, I know that. I know
Yeah.
that scene you're talking about. Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
my birthday.
lower. You're
yeah,
lower.
yeah, you're lower.
I'm the.
You're
Oh,
the
God.
algae that
Yeah.
eats the insects
That's
on
right.
the pond scum. You know?
I only know that because Julia Roberts was in it. She looked great.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
that's the only reason.
I'm going to go out on a limb. It's a great movie. You got to watch it if you've never seen My Best Friend's Wedding. Great little one-liners from there. If you're a
Yeah.
movie buff.
Yep.
But back to the Giants. I like hearing this because I got a lot of money riding on next year on the Giants and Patriots.
That is true.
Yes.
So I'm looking at their home games. Let's see here.
9-23 over 4 years at home.
9-23 over the last 4 years.
Wow.
That's
So they're going to win 2.5 home games this year. And I'll tell you who it's against. Maybe the Broncos.
They're winning the opening night. They're winning week 2 against Washington.
No, they're not.
They're starting
No,
2-0.
they're not. No,
Who's
they're
week 3? Come on.
They're gonna. So, like I said, they're gonna win 2 home games. It may be the first 2 out of 3 games because then you get the Rams, Panthers, Raiders, Eagles, Cowboys, and Washington. Yeah,
And
Those are
Carlos,
two
to answer your question, it's 12 for the Jets in the last 4 years. So not much better, but we're
No.
still better than the shitty Giants.
That's actually really surprising.
what's New England?
Let's not talk about it. I don't even know.
No. I mean, I'm just curious because I don't know.
I don't
How
know.
many games have we won? At
So,
home?
so over the last 4 years, the Jets have won
12.
4 more games?
Yeah.
3 more. 3 more games than the Giants.
Yeah.
Wow.
At
Wow.
home.
I would have probably lost that bet. If we would have bet on that, I would have said there's no way the Giants have less wins than the Jets over the last 4 years. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but it's
How could that even be? What were their records the last 4 years? I feel like the Jets every year are
So-
3-13. What were the Giants?
so they're home. They're
Better
home,
than that.
So I'll tell you.
home wins, though, Jim.
home-
Yeah,
Oh,
home
yeah,
wins.
yeah, yeah.
2017, they had 4 home wins. 18, they had 2 home wins. 19, 5 home wins. And last year, 1 home win. So
So the overall, what's the overall over the last 4 years for both? Do you have that or no?
well, 9-23 for you guys. And,
No, home and away. I'm talking about.
Oh.
Hey, Mia. Hi. Thanks for joining.
Without
Gotta-
having something to write it all down with, I don't know. So
Oh, come on. It's simple math. It's just 4. The most it could be is 64, and it's not that.
they're
When's this going back to 2018?
just total wins. Is that
Yep.
what you're saying? Or just overall
Tot-
wins?
I'm talking about who had more wins, Jets or Giants, over the last 4 years. Home and away. If that's the Jets too, I'm gonna hang up.
Let's see.
Hey, tell them I said hello, Mia.
19 wins for the Jets.
19 over 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And the Giants have
3,
21.
8.
Oh, that's nice. I like that number.
No, this is total.
I know.
12, and 18.
Come on, 19, 18?
18 for the Giants.
And you had 19 for the Jets?
Is that what I said?
I don't think that can't be right. John, help him with his math. He can't count.
So just so you know, the Patriots had 8 home wins in 2018. Let's see what we were in 2019. Oh boy, there's 1, 2,
Oh, no, we're both 18.
3,
18 wins for both of us.
5.
Oh, really? It's a tie? Over the last 4 years, it's tied.
Yeah.
Jets, Giants, same amount of wins.
Yeah. And
That's
you talk
sick.
about
That's sick.
how terrible
That's
the
sick. That's sick.
How can anyone be a Jets fan? They're terrible.
We've won in my lifetime, but man, over the last 4 years, we're even.
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
I'm just telling you what the standings
That's Ben
say.
McAdoo. That's Pat Shermer. That's the problems we've had coaching after Coughlin left.
Yeah. Yep. Dating back to 17, we are tied with an embarrassing 18
Wow.
wins.
Wow.
It's just pathetic. I mean,
Should we even discuss New York football anymore? I mean, seriously.
Are you
I mean,
kidding me?
that's disgusting.
Come
Are
on.
we going to keep talking about 2011, Jim? And Joe, we're going to talk about 1969?
well, I mean, my glory years like 2010 when we knocked the Patriots off in the playoffs, but that was
Right.
great. The
Well-
upset. The upset after that 45-3. We'll play him again in the parking
Russia.
lot. Rex Ryan game. God.
God,
Same
I
thing for
hated
me.
him.
Same thing for the Giants. Beating the Pats, undefeated season, right? Beating them twice in the Super Bowl. Come on.
Hey, if you
That's
guys
why we-
want to hold on to
that's
10
why-
years ago, you go ahead.
That's
all I
why.
got.
That's
all
why
I
we're
got.
talking New England.
Oh.
That's why we talk New York football. That's why.
It's brutal. It is brutal.
Yep.
But
It's all going to change, though, this year, right?
It is.
for the
It
Jets,
is. It is.
I just won't have more than 5 wins.
so
Maybe
what's going to change this year is, John, you're going to be $1,000 richer. Jim, you're going to be looking at who the next quarterback is, and
don't know.
Zach, and we're going to be talking about Zach Wilson winning 10 games next year.
Is that what? That's what it's going to be.
There's my bold predictions on June 6th, June 3rd,
like
excuse
it.
me.
I
June
like
3rd.
Joe. I like it, man.
Yes.
And I only said 10 wins. I didn't say anything crazy, but
10
you know,
wins.
If we win 5 or 6 this year, we add 4 more onto it next year.
So you're going to have more
Not
wins than the
crazy.
Giants this year.
No way.
I don't know.
Hold it. You even have to pause. You just said you're going to have 10 wins, and now you're not sure if you have more wins than the Giants? You think the Giants are going to have 11?
Next year.
I'm talking about this coming year.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
will.
I don't. I have to look at your guys' schedule. I don't even know.
Even without looking at it, you're concerned that maybe the Giants would have more wins, even though you think you're going to have 10.
I didn't say. I wasn't talking about the Giants having more wins. I said you're going to be looking for a new quarterback next year, and the Jets will be pushing for 10 wins next year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you guys.
Must
are
be
gonna
the
do this year.
8% beer I'm drinking that I'm not following.
I just don't think Daniel Jones is good. I've been saying that the whole time. So
Well, we'll see this year what happens.
I think it'll probably be like Spencer Rattler will be the quarterback of the Giants next year.
Yeah,
Or maybe even halfway into the season. You never know.
maybe Aaron Rodgers.
Joe Klecko,
Oh,
Johnny
man.
Mock, he was a beast, wasn't he? My goodness.
Look
Yep.
at you defending Jets players again.
Wow.
Klecko was a BA, man. I mean, he was really good.
Yeah, we met
was.
Klecko. My son and I, Anthony and I met
How
Klecko.
big was his head?
He's a monster. I mean, you knew right away.
Yeah.
You walked in, it was like a car show in the convention center, and walked in, and he was in the middle. Yeah, he was as big as one of the vans.
Yeah. That guy's melon was ginormous.
Man,
Yep.
Ginormous.
That's awesome.
That's when the Jets had. I mean, when they had the sack exchange,
sack
right?
exchange.
Yeah.
What was it? Abdul Salam and
Yep, and,
Marty Lyons.
Marty
No.
Lyons and
Wow,
Gastineau.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I got the two obscure guys in there.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Marty
Crazy.
Lyons, Gastineau.
Mark
Yeah.
Gastineau. That
That
dance.
was,
the New York sack exchange.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Man. Yep. Times were good once.
Let's see Klecko. He was a.
No. No.
How big was he? God, he's
Big boy.
67. Can you believe that? 67.
He is?
Yeah, isn't that frightening?
Yes.
I would put money on Rodgers retiring before he goes to the Jets too, because they just drafted a quarterback, so he'll be like 60 by the time they're going to
Right.
pursue
He might
him.
go to the Giants, maybe. But
He's not going to the Jets. There's no reason to.
No
That'd be
chance.
the
No,
worst
he would never.
thing
He would
ever.
never go to the Jets. So yeah, by
Wasn't
the
there
time,
another Klecko? Was there another Klecko?
yeah, I think his son played
yeah, I think so too.
for.
Not long.
No, was it Kansas City? If I get this one right on 3 hours of sleep, that's going to be something else.
What was his first name though? It wasn't Joe, I don't think.
It wasn't. No, it was
Jack?
Uh,
No.
Dan.
Tom? No.
Dan, I think it was Dan. Where's it? So hold on, let me pull him up here. See if it got out.
I don't know. Let's see.
2 Super Bowl wins.
Dan, yeah. Dan was a defensive tackle. He played for the Pats. That's right.
What? And you didn't know that?
Come on.
I mean, what year was it? 03 to 05. Oh boy, so he won a ring.
Wow. That's what he's
Dan
saying.
Klecko.
2 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah,
Dude.
actually 3-time Super Bowl champion. Because he
Oh, he
was
got a
with
third?
what, Indy and wait a minute. 03 to 05. Actually, all with New England, didn't he? Yeah. No. What year did Indy win theirs? It's not showing the years.
Oh man.
I mean, he had 46 total tackles in his career, so it's not like he was. He was in the 4th round, drafted by New England 4th round. I knew there was another Klecko. Klecko was cut by the Patriots in 06.
It's not gonna be anything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I wonder how that would have been a question to ask his old man. Like, what do you think about your son playing for the Patriots? You tell him to retire before he even started.
Yeah.
That's
So
gotta
he
be.
had to win 2 in New England and 1 with Indy. Indy won theirs in what? 05, 06? Does that sound right? Had to be 06. 05 or 06. That was the year we blew that huge freaking lead against Indy when Jabbar Gaffney dropped that pass. It was wide open. All he had to do was catch it, crawl into the end zone.
So,
I was in Vegas watching that game. I was so pissed.
Indy lost.
So the sack exchange, 79 to 83.
Jesus, that was
and-
back in 2007.
Yeah.
What did they do? Nothing.
No, they never won anything good, but that's still a
As great as that
defense.
line was,
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing he had to play longer than that because Indianapolis beat Chicago in 2007. But when did you say he was drafted?
What was it, 06? Was it 06 he was drafted? No, sorry, 03 he was drafted in the 4th round.
03. Okay, so then yeah, he won 2004 and 5. New England over Carolina, New England over Philly, back to back, and then 2 years later, Indianapolis over Chicago. So 2004, 2005, 2007. Not a bad career. 4 years, 3 Super Bowls. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, I guess a little bit of Tom rubbed off on him.
Hey, just like he did with everyone else.
Yeah.
And Tom's still playing 14 years later after that. That's the best part. 15 years later.
Yeah, did you read the article about him being confused on 4th down in Chicago?
Chicago game, yeah. Yeah, we're all human. We're all human.
He's not human.
Really, he isn't. You're right. So
Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
something had to happen. Maybe he
Yeah.
didn't have the right guacamole ice cream or something.
Maybe somebody put a strawberry seed in his food.
Yes.
There you
Somebody put milk, some dairy products in there.
Yeah, but you see his knee was a nagging nuisance all season.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's finally starting to break down?
Or does that mean he's coming back healthy this year? I mean, what did he do last year? I mean, what were his numbers last? His numbers last year was sick. I mean, that's insane. He played hurt all year long, and he still threw for 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. That's with an injured knee. Oh, he's going to crack 50 again this year. Going to crack 50.
Incredible. It really is. I hate him, but it's incredible. So,
It is. It's just
he
unreal.
did say, to paraphrase, I don't know why they use this in the article. His quote, or close to a quote, just say paraphrase. Hey, I'm gonna get my knee fixed up, and I'm gonna be better next year, and you're gonna be excited about that.
And he means it. He
Yeah.
truly means it. Because now he has to do it. He threw it out there. He has to defend himself. I mean, how old is he going to be? Is he 44 this year?
It's unreal. I remember like 6 years ago when he was pushing 40, and you're like,
Oh.
this can't go on much longer. This has got to be close to the end. I think Max Kellerman's been saying he's going to
He's
hit a
been
cliff
washed up
for like
forever.
10 years.
Yeah. One of these days, he's going to be right. He's going to be like, see, I told you.
right.
He's been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, I told you he was garbage. Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's going to be 44 August 3rd.
Oh my god.
2 months. 2 months, 44 years old. He's running around and getting tackled. I had a hard time rolling out of bed this morning just from sleeping and moving some mulch, that my son and brother-in-law helped me with. So,
Yep.
oh, well.
Who knows?
Man. All right.
Yep.
Well, I mean that looks like it pretty much wraps up the news for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully,
And-
we get some guys on the move here in the next week.
Yeah, something's got to start happening. I mean, we're going to be rolling pretty deep into June. The training camp starts mid-July, so we're about 5-6 weeks from the beginning of training camp. So yeah, you got it. I mean, if moves are going to happen, they've got to start. Guys got to start learning playbooks. They got to get in. They got to get integrated into a team. So we'll see. Jets still don't have a backup quarterback, so I'm getting.
I was going to ask you about that. Has there been any chiming about that? The kid from San
Nothing.
Francisco? Anything?
No, I thought Mullins would have been locked up a long time ago.
Yeah,
It's
Nothing.
just a natural. It just seems like a natural fit, but
it does.
Yep.
yeah, they're sticking with Mike White and James Morgan as
That's
the 2 and 3 right now.
dangerous, man. That is dangerous.
Tell me about it. Anything goes wrong, that's it. Season's off the rails. It's
It's off the rails anyways. Okay,
no,
let's face
it is not off the rails.
Yes.
Joe, it's already off the rails.
It's not on the rails.
It's not even getting on the rails.
Did you see last year? That thing went completely derailed, tumbled everywhere. There was chemical spills, farm animals spread all over the place, milk trucks just spilling all over the place. It's been the crane has come. It's lifted back on the tracks. Now they're doing the inspections, getting it ready to move.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are they going to remove the blocks, though? It's one of those ones that are in the station that don't leave the station. We're just going to sit right here. It's a museum now.
So the drunk railroad guy is going to forget to close up the lock, put the pin in, screw it in, and now the Jets won't be a chemical spill. Like I said, it's just going to be a very hard season for them with the amount of rookies and young players they have. It's just going to be hard, man. And there's not, I mean, Mosley, is he going to be a leadership? Him and, who's that other guy they signed, the defensive end there? From
Shaq Lawson.
Lawson, yeah.
Shaq
So
Lawson. Carl
so
Lawson.
there you go. I mean, they got no defensive backfield. I mean, well, no, they got a decent safety. They do. So you got 3 players on D. They're going to lead it, but man, I mean, Wilson's
Don't
going to
forget
make
Quinn
mistakes.
Williams there.
Yeah. Okay,
He's,
4.
Nice. The defensive line looks good. The defensive line looks pretty strong. Safety, linebacker, you've got 2 nice pieces. Cornerback's going to get rough. If they can't get pressure on the quarterbacks, oh man, there's going to be some high-scoring games. There's going to be some
Mosley
high-scoring
hasn't
games.
played in 2 years.
He hasn't. He did come out and say that he has got a huge chip on his shoulder, and he is going to prove everybody wrong that's saying that he's overpaid and overvalued. So,
I mean, I don't think he was ever overpaid. He just hasn't played. You know what I mean? That's the only thing.
they paid him like $8 million over the highest line. I think it was 8 million more than the highest paid linebacker at the time. It was a jump.
We had to overpay. I mean, like we talked
did.
about.
They were bad.
You have to overpay. Yeah.
They were bad. But if we know what he was, it's kind of like you're talking about with Judon in Baltimore for all those years. Like he made a name for himself, and he was an impact player, and Mosley was a level above him, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Mosley was elite those years, and we just
No, he was.
He's played 3/4 of a game for the Jets so far. That's it. So if he's coming back with a chip and completely healthy, that could be a massive piece, and you need that. You need that defensive captain, especially with a young team. So that's going to be a huge piece. His play is going to be a huge determining factor on what that defense can do and how it grows and develops a lot. He's especially the organization he came from and the leadership within that organization and the culture in that organization. If some of that can spill into these young guys and he can teach them, that's going to go a long way to improving this team. It's not going to be an overnight change, but if they can double their wins, triple.
There we go. Double 4.
I consider it.
There we go.
Well, now that the season's over and Trevor Lawrence is gone, I'm considering that Raiders game a win because no other defensive coach would have called a cover 0 blitz and given up that deep pass. No other defensive coordinator would have
in the
done
history of football.
It never happened.
Including Pop Warner.
It never happened. Yeah, so that should have been a win. Any other coach, that would have been 3 wins. If Jets can get to 6 wins this year with a 4th place schedule and an extra game thrown in there with the Eagles, I mean, 6 wins? Come on, they could do that. They did it. They should have had 3 with Adam Gase. They could do 6 with this team.
No, they can't.
Come on.
No, they can't. It's not happening. Way too young. Competitive, remember. I said
way
it before.
Way too young to win 6 games.
Competitive, they're going to make the mistakes. They're going to be competitive. But, I mean, you're talking going in, and I don't mean Nick Stennis, but you're talking about a rookie quarterback, rookie running back, rookie number 1 receiver. Herndon, which...
No, they got Davis. Davis is the number 1.
True. Okay,
almost,
my bad.
Almost
Davis.
had 1,000 yards. So
you think he's going to come close to that? But anyways, a lot of rookies, and who's there to mentor him?
Yeah,
I think they're doing him a huge problem right now. Why do you not bring it? Yeah, thank you. I was trying to think of something, and I was going around about because I forgot. But I mean, you got to help him out. He's a kid. You got to help him out.
Yep.
I agree. Call Josh McCown. He's got to be sitting around waiting to do something. Call him, bring him in, let him be a mentor. If anything, he probably still has nice hair.
Oh, of course he does. With the golden locks. Locks.
Beautiful. So you can't have Trevor Lawrence's golden locks. You call Josh McCown. You bring him.
Yeah, there you go.
Just as good.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's wrap it with that. We're coming up on the hour mark. So with that, guys, thank you for joining us again this week and having some, like I said, water cooler talk about what's going on. Hopefully there's some more excitement next week and something we can really get moving on. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen within the next hour since we have to wait until Monday to come back.
Nice.
So something juicy is going to happen real soon. But until then, please subscribe, like the channel, tell all your friends. Like John says, tell your wives, tell your girlfriends. Don't tell them together. But have everybody subscribe. And until then, please have a great, great weekend. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy summer. And for John, for Jim, I'm Joe, and we will see you guys